The bean plant experiment. In this scientific controlled experiment, we will examine the growth of pinto beans when they are provided with proper nutrients but placed in different environments. The controlled environment will imitate the natural conditions, so a plant placed in light, and the experimental environment will be used to see what happens if the condition is changed, a plant placed in the dark. The scientific question being asked for this experiment is, which bean plant will grow the fastest, the one placed in the light or the one placed in the dark? The hypothesis I made for this experiment was that I predict that the one in the light will grow the fastest because it will be provided with all of the resources it needs: sun, water, soil or nutrients, a space to grow, and an appropriate temperature to thrive in. The vital needs of a plant are very much like a human's. They need light, water, air, nutrients, and a proper temperature. Beans and all plants first undergo germination, which is where they start to grow and sprout. Seeds may start to grow or germinate without light, but the plant growing from it must have light if it is to continue to grow. Plants need light to continue growing, and when light hits the surface of a plant, it is either absorbed, transmitted, or reflected. Energy in the form of sunlight is one of the driving forces in the chemical reaction known as photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which plants manufacture food, mainly sugars, from carbon dioxide and water in the presence of chlorophyll, a green pigment, utilizing light energy and releasing oxygen and water. Together, the quality, quantity, and duration of light influences plant growth. Plants grown in direct sunlight are typically compact with short and thick stems, whereas those in shade are taller, elongated, and yellow. The materials needed for this experiment include 10 pinto beans, 2 plastic cups, 1 measuring spoon, a tablespoon, 1 ruler, 1 paper towel, 1 plastic bag, and some soil or dirt. The first step in the procedure is to damp a paper towel so that it is wet but not dripping. The next step is to take the pinto beans and place them onto the damp paper towel. Then you can start to wrap the paper towel around the beans so that they are tightly enclosed. Once the beans are tightly wrapped inside the paper towel, you can place the paper towel inside a plastic bag and make sure that the bag is tightly sealed. Once the beans are in the bag and are starting to germinate, you can take 2 plastic cups and label both of them. One will be labeled B in dark, and the other one will be labeled A as light. Then you can take soil and fill them up to the same level. After about 4 to 5 days, you will have germinated beans. The next step will be to then take one of the germinated beans and place it into cup A, the light, with the sprout up. Then you will do the same thing, take a germinated bean and place it into cup B, dark, with the sprout up and cover it with the soil. Once both beans are planted into the soil, you will take 1 tablespoon of water and place it into the cups. Here you can see I put 1 tablespoon into cup B, and then I place 1 tablespoon of water into cup A. Here I place my cup A in the windowsill where it will receive light, and I place cup B in my closet where it is dark. This is bean A after 3 days. It is 3 centimeters, and bean B in the dark is also 3 centimeters after 3 days. Here I am watering the beans again. I put 1 tablespoon of water into cup B and 1 tablespoon of water into cup A. This is bean A after 5 days. It is 5 centimeters tall. And bean B after 5 days is 12 centimeters tall. Once again, I am watering both bean B and bean A with 1 tablespoon of water because they need the same amount of water each time. This is bean A and bean B after 7 days. Bean A is 6.5 centimeters tall. And bean B after 7 days is 16 centimeters. Once again, I am watering both the beans with 1 tablespoon of water. This is both beans after 14 days. Bean A is 18 centimeters and bean B is 21 centimeters. Again, we water both beans with 1 tablespoon of water. Day 22, bean A is 23 centimeters and bean B is 37 centimeters. Then once again, I add the same amount of water of 1 tablespoon. On the final day of measurement, bean B was 45 centimeters and bean A was 28 centimeters tall. Bean plant A in the light started at 0 centimeters and grew up to 28 centimeters tall after 30 days. Bean plant B in the dark started at 0 centimeters and grew up to 45 centimeters tall after 30 days. Both beans in the light and the dark grew steadily from day 0 to day 9. However, bean A showed significant growth from day 9 to day 14, then remained growing at a steady rate of 2 to 3 centimeters every 2 to 4 days. It remained at a pretty consistent height because it was sprouting new leaves horizontally rather than getting taller. Bean B, on the other hand, grew consistently at about 2 to 4 centimeters between every measurement and showed the most growth between day 16 and day 20. After 30 days of observing the bean plants, the results indicated that the bean in the dark grew faster and taller than the one in the light. Therefore, my hypothesis that the bean plant in the light would grow faster was incorrect. According to the research and background I found on photosynthesis and plant growth, the quality, quantity, and duration of light influences plant growth. Additionally, plants grown in direct sunlight are typically compact with short and thick stems, whereas those in shade are taller and elongated. This was supported by my experiment because the bean in the light, bean A, was consistently exposed to direct sunlight, causing the early seed leaves to separate, enlarge, and turn green as chloroplasts developed and enabled the plant to begin photosynthesis. Bean B, on the other hand, the plant in the dark, was yellow and elongated. The reason it grew so fast and elongated was because it was receiving water but wasn't receiving any light. In general, the more light a plant receives, the shorter it will be, and this was supported by our bean plant experiment.